And now there has to be a trade on e4, and you're looking at that move, knight to c3, as the possibility. Is that what he's going to play? Hand raised with seconds left on his clock as well, and he has played knight to c3.
Well, bishop to g6. I was thinking, like, if you're not happy with any attacking prospects, he might as well play bishop b1, which
Come
was
on, look at that king.
which was
You could go get a pawn. We're hunting rabbits, and he's had to play bishop f8 to deal with the threat.
yeah, bishop f8. So now rook b8 would be answered with king g7.
And again, we need to see the clock times here. 23 seconds. Okay, they've gotten a little bit of breathing room in the position. What does Grishuk do now to continue to improve, or at least finish the guy off? Because somehow he's not dead yet.
Yeah, well, but that's a problem.
7 seconds. 6. 5. And now he's played bishop to
f6, allowing the capture on a2.
All right, take the pawn. All
Yeah.
right, pawn in hand. And now if he moves his knight, and he's got an a-pawn going down the board. Whoa, 6 seconds left, and Grishuk is not showing composure here, and he's played rook to b8.
Rook to b8, beating this guy, and then I guess d6, but it's not going any further. Well, d6, bishop e7.
You got to move the knight out the way.
That bishop controls the diagonal. Yeah, black has to.
Knight b4 is auto move here, and now you're ready to push. The bishop on f6 does control the queening square, and you can always put the piece all the way back. He's now played the move bishop to f5, and the eval bar has dropped precipitously as the king has escaped the bind on the back rank. Aragaisi is back in the game. The engine's giving all zeros here.
Well, I do not like the trend for Grishuk. He was completely winning. Now it's zeros.
And oh no, bishop g7.
Bishop g7.
Who's trying to win this position all of a sudden?
I mean, you'd still have a draw apparently if you trust the engine, but how would you know what move to play with seconds on the clock?
And I'd be panicking. A second ago I was crushing the guy, and now all of a sudden he's trying to get rid of my dark square bishop and possibly queen his a-pawn. And how do you stop that? King g6, rook to g8, pinning the bishop. Oof, you can breathe for a moment, but there is the move knight to c2 because the bishop is no longer on the diagonal controlling the c2 square.
Right, there is also king to h7, which perhaps forces white to trade everything on g7.
Just an unbelievable development from completely winning now to fighting for his life. And a2 played, and d6, a2 apparently a blunder, as this allows, he's knocked over a piece there, and suddenly white is winning again. Unbelievable turn of events, as he should have played knight to c2. Instead he played a2, a big mistake. Now white's just threatening to push his pawn.
Yeah, and then after knight c6, you take the only opponent's resource, the pawn on a2, and just convert calmly.
Oh man, black had his chances and has blown it completely, and he's just staring at the absolute
king to g6
detritus in his position. Like what did he create? d7, and now you can just chop the pawn. He's thinking though, you don't want the king to come closer and possibly disrupt what's happening over there, but breathe a sigh of relief that you're able to get rid of the a-pawn, and it only white now, 2 pawns up, who can win this game.
Yeah, so king to f6. Wow.
I mean, it's just bad. You can even just bring the bishop back, no?
Yeah, you can go bishop h3. You can also go bishop d5, which is somewhat funny move, because what I'm planning to do is defend this pawn, and if you end up capturing, white will be winning, almost like a pawn endgame.
There's still some technique to be displayed, but it is a battle for first place, clear first place that we are watching right now. Duda and Mirzin are still going at it somehow in that rook ending, and they're still equal, apparently, in that position, but we won't jump to it. We'll stay right here, as this is most likely a victory for the white pieces, and he has played bishop back to h3, knight back to d8. That is a sad knight you see there, but it is hard to get rid of that knight. It is on a dark square, and you can defend it. So Richard now played
rook e2. As we said, it was hard to get that. Oh, wow, rook to e7?
Rook e7 is doable?
Rook e7? Let's see.
And apparently that was just losing if you took. But Grishuk has instead played the move rook to f2 with check, king to g7. And now it is a question. How do you get to win this position if you have white there's still some technical work to be done here.
Yeah, I mean, don't get us wrong. It has to be completely winning, but you
Yes.
still have to make moves like Bishop F5, G4. I'm thinking.
And bring your king up and slowly
Right,
just
yeah.
corral everybody. And he's played Rook A1. He played that as though he had only 1 second left on his clock when he in fact had
Whoa.
7 seconds. The king has moved over to F7 and now repeating moves his Grishuk to gain some time on the clock. We've seen him do that before. Typical technique, just to get a few extra seconds. And again, he's looking over at his clock. You know, he's an adrenaline junkie. He likes being in this kind of situation. The rest of us, we want to be calm, cool, but not this guy. He loves it when
G2.
his pulse is racing. And King G2 now, bringing the king closer.
Very relaxed. So rook to
A
E4.
little threat, so to speak.
Yeah. Rook F4. Rook F4 though.
Yeah,
He says,
don't trade.
Let's trade.
Check. Bring your king up.
F3.
It's a solid one. And every move looks like it's just improving White's prospects more and more. Rook to D2. At some point, isn't Rook E8 going to be a threat? If I
Yeah,
move my Rook to
that's
the
Rook E8.
file, now he's moved his king
King
over.
E3.
Still a bad situation. Probably he needs to harass. In this situation, you want to harass a piece. Rook H2
Right.
seems like a move just to chase the bishop, but it's not really long lasting. We see the crowd there intently looking at this top board.
So after Rook D6, there is an idea of that Rook D1 is what
And
was.
by the way, a stunning development on board 1. Murzin is winning the game
Wow.
against Duda. Somehow, Duda has blundered and is now losing in his game. He has a lost rook and pawn ending. We'll stay right here and review that in a moment. But Murzin will also go first if Grishuk wins this game. That is just a shocker of a result.
Well,
Well, it's not a result yet, but at least of a development in this game. He is leading, is Murzin. And now we see this one is just about over. Is Rook E8, that threat, like I said, that's going to be
Yeah.
problematic. But still, with the Rook on D6, you still have to break the dark square bind. So there is still some work to do here.
yes, knight will keep jumping. Rook E8, knight F7, and you have to. Yeah, I'm guessing Rook E8, knight F7, bishop E6, or something of that matter.
By the way, let's just switch quickly because we just have a few seconds here.
Right.
We're going to see the finish of the other game. Let's go to that board 1 game because it is just about over. He is collecting material here. Look at this. He stopped the pass B pawn. He himself is going to promote his C pawn at least. Yes, you can pick off the E pawn eventually, but you will not be able to stop both because your king is just too far away. We're going to get in some sort of Philidor's position.
Yeah, that's a very beautiful move, this king D4, because after Rook E7, Rook B2, you really want to run closer, but you cannot go to the E file.
And that is a major issue here. You're going to get cut off. Your king will not be able to stop this from happening. But in this very moment, the position is still slightly technical because the king is threatening king E7 and king back to D8. If those two moves
Yeah.
occur, you
Go there,
so
right?
king C5,
You go
very
there.
important.
And you're just in time to cut off the king.
And that is the small technical point. That will force resignation as what to do now. He realizes he cannot get his king closer. He has to play king e7, and we're waiting for that key move that we all learned back in grade school. Just cut that king off, and that's it. You're not, and
We don't even
he actually,
need the key
he's
move.
actually decided he doesn't even need it.
Because the rook is on the B file, so typically king B7
King
would be
B7.
met with rook B1.
That is
but
true.
Here,
but here it is not. It is a problem.
King
King
B7,
down. He's going to resign. You're
check,
absolutely
king
right.
B8 resigns.
Amazing. The game is definitely over. 6 seconds left. Duda knows it, and he just decided to move his rook over, his last hope, but isn't just checking.
Yeah.
Oh, but it is going to end up being
That's
this position
building the
anyway.
bridge thing.
We're still
Yes,
going to have to
you
build
go
a bridge in the end. Just play. He's probably looking for a different way to do it, but it does look as though you're going to do some bridge building here. Move your king and push that pawn. Thank you.
Push
You
the
can check
pawn.
all you want. Now it's time, which is going to put that, and this is going to be put to rest after a check on e2. Then you bring your rook up, then you
Yep.
bring the king out, and that's going to be all she wrote. He could keep moving, but he already knows this one is mathematical. It is done, and we're waiting for the resignation. It hasn't happened yet. We expect rook e2 check here, and the other game has indeed ended. Let's stay with this one. We'll come back to that because we knew he was winning.
And he did win.
And
Yeah.
he did win with that
That's
position.
the final position.
Let's jump to the other one to see if
Yep.
we get a handshake there. It's Duda looking off in space, knowing there's that rookie 4 move. And he knows it. This one is definitely done.
So the point of rookie 4 being that the king goes here, and after check, king goes here, king goes here. Now you're threatening rookie 5, rook c5, and
Yep.
another check. You go to c5, and you block with the rook on c5.
That is the bridge being built, and that move there says, yeah, I kind of know how this is done, and the move's being played. Grishchuk winning his game to go now into clear first, but now Murzin, I mean, we keep talking about this kid, Volodar. Amazing how many players he has defeated. Just look at the names that he's defeated and drawn, and it is simply the elite of world chess, and he continues to stun us all. Now the move rook e5 can be played very quickly here, and there it is on the board, and that's all she wrote. The resignation has taken place. 2 players now at the top.
That's 8 points, right? 8
But wait a
points.
second.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Nepo had half a point more. So that's Grishuk tied with Mozin for the first, and then Nepo might be on clear third.
Okay, he's
Believe it or
definitely
not.
behind. But hold on a second. I've been saying this whole time, but I feel strange about this for a second. Was Grishchuk in the top group?
Yes. He was. It was 4-way tie.
That was a 4-way tie. Yes, I thought it was. I misremembered. I thought it was a 3-way. Okay, so it is a 4-way tie. That's right. So he was in the top group. He is at 8 out of 10. So is Murzin. They are tied for first. And now he gets to take on Grishchuk, that is Murzin, after having shown what he is capable of by defeating, again, let's just look at the players he's played. He has defeated Nakamura, Caruana, and Duda. That's +3 on that group of gangsters. He has drawn Aronian, Dominguez, Erigaisi, and Giri. That his performance rating must be through the roof. I don't know what it is, but it's got to be through the roof.
In 3,000s.
I mean,
yes.
come on, how do you do that to that group of players? Maybe not 3,000, but it's as good as anybody on the planet would expect to do in that situation. So absolutely extraordinary. We see a bunch of draws. The top 3 boards were decisive, but everything all the way down to board 11 were draws, and that includes big names such as Abdusattorov drew, Mamadzirov drew, Dominguez, Anish Giri drew, Fabiano Caruana drew, Wei Yi drew, Aronian drew. Ali Reza, however, did win, and a big upset on board 12. Hikaru Nakamura lost to his countryman, Brandon Jacobson.
Wow.
That just deals a death blow to his chances of winning this tournament. Wow, what a result there. That's a shocker, to be sure. All right, well, I believe after all that excitement, we should look at the excitement in the ladies section.
Yeah, so you must have confused it with ladies section when you were talking about 3-way
top
tie,
3,
because
that's
there
what
was
it
a
was.
3-way
You're
tie,
right.
Ju and June, Conneru and Dronavali, and believe it or not, but 2 games on top 2 boards ended in a draw rather peacefully. So that's the highest board in play we have, board 3, Lagno versus Kostyuk.
All right, well, this is a big time game. I'm seeing an extra piece.
Yeah, Lagno is completely
For white, Lagno is completely winning this position, and that means she jumps into a tie for first.
Yes, she does. She does tie for first.
she
There'll
joins
be
Ju and
4-way
Jun.
tie. Yeah.
She joins Ju and Jun, Humpy Conneru, and Erika Dronavali with this victory, and we are expecting a victory. I mean, she's a piece up. This one is pure desperation. The only issue is that Bishop on h6 really is not in the fight right now, but that will be quickly fixed.